Yes, I love
So
that.
these are the three things. One
Put
is
the ball in
listen,
their court.
one is provide the clarity, and third one being super transparent. So if I see these three qualities in any leader, I'm more than happy to ensure they are part of me.
Yeah. Any advice that you would like to go and give your 20-year-old self, 20 or 25-year-old, whenever you started your corporate journey?
If I have to look back like 20 years back, like the only two advice probably I would give myself is there's nothing called as a fast forward button. Okay, so you need to, probably understand or like strengthen your fundamentals. And second is like don't get trapped in the rat race.
Don't
Okay,
get
because
trapped
like
in the rat race. Oh, I was dying to hear this from at least one of the people I interviewed. Don't be a part of this box hamster wheel of this rat race that you're missing out. I love that you mentioned it. I'm so grateful.
because any challenges will actually lead to opportunities, and this was the outlook which I had from the start. Because anywhere, like even today, like for any task which you undertake, there are bottlenecks. Okay, you have just two options. One is like sit back and grieve about you cannot move forward, or the way forward is look at like how exactly like you can break those bottlenecks and like move forward and achieve it.
All right, everybody, welcome back to StartupLanes platform. My name is Geett Pandey. I serve as a vice president here, and today I am super excited to welcome on board another incredible personality from the corporate world. His name is Sunil Agithakalya. He is the senior vice president, bureau operations at CRIF, Highmark Credit Information Services Private Limited. So I would like to know more about him, not just on a personal level, but also some key takeaways on how he manages, taking important decisions, and also a little sneak peek into his personal journey thus far. So thank you so much, Sunilji, for giving your precious time and your busy schedule amidst a busy week right after Holi. So thank you so much for being, having this time for us for this interview.
Yeah, thanks, Geet, and thanks, StartupLanes, for inviting me for this particular session. I'm more than happy to be a part of this. And thanks once again.
Lovely, lovely. So the first question that I have right off my bat is, could you take me back to that young, vibrant Sunil right after college, bustling with energy? How did you become what you are today? Like, tell me, how did it start, your roadblocks and the things that you had to overcome, the barriers that you had to break in order to, be at a position and command a leadership role?
Okay. Of my 23, 24 years of experience, like I'm primarily in credit bureaus. Almost 16, 17 years I've been in this credit bureau field, and I had an opportunity of implementing credit bureaus in at least South Asia, Middle East, and Africa. I was privileged enough to be guided by a lot of great thinkers, and I learned from their style of functioning. I learned from like the way they mentored me, and this literally like molded who I am today. And I will not say like any setbacks per se, but I would like to reword it as challenges, because any challenges will actually lead to opportunities. And this was the outlook which I had from the start. Because anywhere, like even today, like for any task which you undertake, there are bottlenecks. Okay, you have just two options. One is like sit back and grieve about you cannot move forward, or the way forward is look at like how exactly like you can break those bottlenecks and like move forward and achieve it. So every stage of my career, any problems which I had faced, I looked at as opportunity, because that gave me an opportunity to reskill myself, and that gave me an opportunity to excel and get the required visibility. And that is why like where I am today.
Lovely. I love that you have such a positive mindset, Sunil. The way that you worded, the setbacks that I mentioned into challenges. I love that you have that mindset where you're able to kind of use any situation or anything that you're faced with into a positive mindset and try to, build from there. So I love that. It's such a nice way of looking at life in general. So I love.
I'll give you a classic case. I'll give you a classic case. I'll not name the company where I was working or the client like whom I worked with, but I landed up in one of very key client, and like it was a very a person of higher designation was sitting in front of me, and that was my first meeting. And I was completely gun ho meeting that personality, and the immediate conversation was after she greeted me, and she told me I was just looking out for who will represent from the company, looking out for you. So I said, okay, wow, like it's a good way of starting a conversation. Then she said, like, I was looking out for a person to terminate the contract. Okay, so that is the first level of the conversation that started. Then in 3 months time, we worked the problems. We took a step back, understood what were the problems which they were facing, and we solved it. And in a way, I generated revenue for them, I generated revenue for the company. It was a win-win situation at the end of the day. And this client was more completely in favor of our brand. So this is precisely what I'm trying to say. Like, okay, when you encounter any a sort of setbacks or bottlenecks or a challenge, like take a moment, because respect that particular problem, take a moment and step back and see like how you can solve it. Why exactly the client or the person opposite to you like is highlighting that, there should be a reason. So respect that, you'll automatically find a way out, and that will definitely be beneficial for the company and to you.
I love this. How you are, just trying to say that instead of reacting, you have to respond. Take a step back, take a breather, analyze the situation, and then address it rather than snapping or rather than, getting overwhelmed with the entire scenario. So I love that to take a breather. Beautiful, beautiful analysis of the whole situation that you've mentioned. Wonderful. And speaking of tough and challenges, how do you personally handle tough situations, and how do you kind of figure out when it's time for conflict resolution within your team, within your company, or in life in general? How do you deal with it? Tell me your practical tips.
Okay, that's a good question. In fact, a tricky one too. And I would again restate: give a problem its due time to find a resolution. You needn't have to react for every situation. Take a pause. Taking an instant decision or even not taking a decision at all is a killer. So, take a pause, understand the situation, find out like the core reason towards that. Then, like, you'll have a resolution for any conflict. There is definitely a resolution. So, give its own time. Just take a pause, take a step back.
Take a step back, pause. That is what I think we are taught in our yoga as well, that I'm fond of, where we take a pause, take a breather, and then kind of push forward. I love that I can mix both of them in my personal professional life too.
In fact, everything is interlinked, right? At
Yeah,
the end of the
everything is
day,
interlinked. I think we are all interlinked through this universe, giant universe. So that's lovely to how you are able to connect the dots. Tell me any advice that you would like to go and give your 20-year-old self, 20 or 25-year-old, whenever you started your corporate journey.
If I have to look back 20 years back, like the only two advice probably I would give myself is there's nothing called as a fast forward button. Okay, so you need to, probably understand or strengthen your fundamentals. And second is don't get trapped in the rat race.
Don't
Okay,
get
because
trapped in the rat race. Oh, I was dying to hear this from at least one of the people I interviewed. Don't be a part of this box hamster wheel of this rat race that you're missing out. I love that you mentioned it. I'm so grateful. Please don't get into this rat race. There is only rats win in the rat race. So
Absolutely. and
lovely.
to top it, like, okay, when you're young with bustling with the complete energy, like, then definitely, like, you see people running around, like, then, like, you also get into the mode. Yes, probably, like, okay, it's more like, am I missing out on this moment? So then you automatically you get trapped into this rat race.
This is a
So
problem of
that is
our
probably
generation.
something like which I would like to give
Ah,
an advice to a 20-year old
I
Sunil.
feel like our generation before us was so relaxed. Still, they got a lot of things done in their life, and they did not go into this like hustle mode. We are always in such hustle mode that we are stressed all the time, and by the time we make a ton of money, by the time we are 50, and then spend all that money in hospital bills. What's the point of it all? So, you just take it a
Absolutely.
little bit slow sometimes. So, I am a proponent of slow living, and you could say I'm anti hustle. So I love how you mentioned that, because the hamster wheel is just ruining our mental, physical, and spiritual health. The push. So it's time to kind of take that pause that you were mentioning. I love
And
that.
absolutely, they also say, right, like almost most of the diseases or most of the problem are 80% psychological. So,
Psychological,
like,
psychosomatic stress. It's more about the stress that's kind of emotional stress that's trapped in our body, and it comes out in various forms, in forms of anger, in forms of like diabetes, BP, and all of that. Like, what's the point of it all at the end of the day? So that is something that we, as a generation, we need to ponder upon. Why
true.
our ancestors were more healthier and happier, and raised children who were mentally stable, rather than we have walking robots these days. So
And over the years, the purpose of living has dramatically changed. So, what they had as a purpose of living and the
yes.
contentment which they had with what they had at that point in time was completely different from what we look out for.
Ah, the entire system has changed. That desires never end. There's like so many desires that even a person who makes 10 crores per month is still burning out his is still on his burnout. So the desires have to be kind of scaled down, and I feel contentment and peace, and peace of mind, if you're able to sleep well at night with contentment, I think that is success. And as somebody, one of the interviews I was taking of another CXO, and he said something really nice, where success is so subjective. What is success for you might not be the same definition of success for me. But as humanity, we just termed as success as somebody who has material wealth. But that's not the truth. He might be taking anxiety and depression pills. So
Correct.
success is so subjective. And I love that you resonated on that front too. So lovely. Tell me a little more about your hobbies, passions. In an alternate reality, what would you be, if not in the corporate world? You can dream.
Probably.
A man is allowed to dream here.
No, I love to cook. So, like,
Ah,
alternative, like, I prefer being a chef.
me
In fact, like,
too. Me too.
in fact, I'm not sure, like, okay, whether it is a stress buster for it is a stress buster for me, but I'm not sure whether it is a stress for the people who consume it, but like, at least it's a stress buster for me.
Lovely. I'm so happy because I absolutely love cooking. I was in Bali. I took a whole professional, I'm a vegan, so I took a whole professional raw vegan course where I learned to make like desserts. And my all I do on Sundays, despite living in Goa, is cook.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so I cook all the time, and I love cooking and experimenting and watching like cooking shows. So, and I want to like write a cookbook someday. But I love that you love cooking, so I can resonate on so many levels now. And I'm so glad to have this delightful conversation. I'm going to connect with you on that. Once
Even
I
as a
do
matter of fact,
more.
I'm a vegetarian, so like,
Oh,
I
lovely.
love to experiment, and I formally learned to so that I can experiment more.
Oh,
So,
really? Where did you go? Where did you go to learn?
right, there were like, people like who were chefs, sort of like, okay, who were explaining how to make kachoris, how to make like, different Chinese dishes, and like,
Oh,
I like experimenting them. So, like, I
that's
like to
so
learn formally
lovely.
and like experiment.
I love Chinese. Oh my, I can talk about food, so we'll just deviate the whole topic. Because if I talk about food, I can talk nonstop because that's my guilty pleasure. And tell me another thing. Then now that you've talked about your hobbies and passions, tell me the three leadership qualities. Circling back to our topic, what are the three leadership qualities that you would look if you were hiring people in a leadership role in your company or otherwise? What are the three top qualities that people should have?
Okay. The most important quality which I look forward is people should listen. Okay. There are quite a lot of people who like to speak. Okay. They don't listen. So when you stop listening, then when you don't listen, then you don't observe what's happening around you. So, because I'm a firm believer of change agents. Okay, only when you see okay, because every scenario, everything is different. It's unique on its own. So only when you start listening, you understand what are the problems being faced or how things are dramatically changing around you and how you need to change. So this is one most important quality which I look forward to. And then one of the things which I firmly believe is transparency. Okay, I am very, very candid with my team members and very, very candid with my family members too. So, it's always better, okay, to be transparent so that people know, people over a period, in the beginning, they'll find it a bit difficult, but over a period of time, they know, okay, you don't speak something at the back, and what you tell or what you convey, it's for the betterment of the other person.
Yes.
So once they know, the intention and the intention is good, and you being transparent, they start reciprocating to you so that, most of your problems get solved over there. And the third most important thing which I see is providing clarity. Okay, as a leader, you need to provide clarity, because most often, if you're not able to provide clarity, at least don't create confusion. So because people would like to give you gyans for hours together, but at the end of it, okay, when you take a step back to understand what did you learn, probably you're not able to recollect anything. If you're able to chart out a clear vision and the company's mission, to the people who are actually involved in this, and draw a line and tell them this is the overall agenda and let's work towards achieving it, and all the measurements are very clear, then okay, you'll see results. For instance, I firmly believe in what we call as OKR, and objective and key results, which is you're aware, right, at the end of every appraisal period. So your managers tend to remember the bad things which you did the last 3 months, and forget what you ended up doing over the last 12 months.
Yes.
So,
yes,
and when it comes to appraisal, it's all subjective. So that's why all my appraisal parameters are based on objective and key results, where we clearly defined, or quantitatively, what is that which the target, what they need to achieve on each and every, whether it is support related or whether it is implementation related. All the KPIs can be quantified. So with that, every month, they themselves know, are they moving towards the target, or are they lagging towards it. So this provides a clarity for them, and towards the end of during the appraisal, this also eases us, because they'll do the self appraisal better.
Yes, I love
So
that.
these are the three things. One is listen, one is provide the clarity, and third one being super transparent. So if I see these three qualities in any leader, I'm more than happy to ensure they are part of me.
Yeah, lovely. So first is listening, have transparency and a candid demeanor, and the third is having listening. Let me go ahead. Listening, being candid and transparent, and the third is having clarity of vision about your team and having that OKR in place.
Absolutely.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you. It's great takeaways for everybody who's watching this. Any regrets, Sunilji, that you would like to turn around? Personal,
probably I could not. It's more a personal one. I couldn't spend more time with my father. So probably that's one regret I carry daily. So because I missed him.
I completely understand where you're coming from. Yeah. So I think that our generation has to kind of learn is to kind of balance, because I believe in the crystal and the rubber ball. I feel like the crystal ball is like the family. Once it breaks, it's hard to put together, but the rubber ball can keep still bouncing. So you just have to do the juggling act really well. So,
And this is precisely one of the reason why I is on the personal front again. Like whatever I told you, like I apply it straight through on my personal front as well.
yes,
So like any day, I am 100% sure both my kids, they can come to me, they can talk the good, bad, and ugly. They
I
know I
love
will
that.
listen. I will not emotionally react, and I am there as a listener. And if they need any advice, then I am there to be there and save their back.
They're so
So
blessed. They're
so that
honestly
is
so
that is
blessed to
one
have
thing on
someone
the
like you.
transparency I maintain, and I ensure like daily, whatever be the hectic schedule, before they go to sleep, at least I end up spending 30 minutes, so that anything that happened in their school or college, like okay, they are there like to come and discuss with me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. Lovely. Lovely. This is what I want this interview to be all about, to get to know the person behind the persona that's projected on the outside, is to get to know the person at his core. So now that you're talking a little bit about your family, which is that one person, personal or professional, that has a profound impact on you and was able to create a impressionable dent in your mind and your spirit?
I don't remember where I read this, but like somewhere like someone had asked like, is it the journey or is it the destination which is important?
Journey.
Okay, but like the answer was provided as it's the company. Okay, so at the end of the day, although like I'm
Oh,
pretty much
I love.
grateful to my parents, but like at the end of the day, for who I am today, like I am completely indebted to my wife. So because she has done lots of sacrifices in her personal front, like to support me in my career. So and for all the good, bad, and ugly days, like okay, she was with me, standing as a pillar. So I am completely indebted to
This is called as hashtag couple goals. This is what
her.
called when you're on a public podium, you're able to express that gratitude towards your wife. And I think all men here who are in leadership positions and take away this sort of reaction when you're able to be vulnerable and get your guards down and appreciate the lady in your life. I love that. Beautiful. I'm sure you're a great husband and a wonderful father as well, along with being a great leader in your professional life. So hats off to you.
Still
Bravo
trying
for
to
your
be.
parents.
There's no 100%. Like still trying my level best.
Yeah, we are all in work in progress, Sunil. We are all working, but I can sense that you have such a deep, empathetic, kind spirit that shines through, even though we are on this virtual platform. So I can definitely resonate with that energy. It's beautiful. And one of the last, we are coming towards the end now. So, would you like to kind of mentor the startups that we have on Startup Lanes? And have you, I'm sure you know a little bit about Startup Lanes, and do you have any thoughts and words? I put two questions together. First is if you can, mentor the startups that we have on number one. And number two is, do you have any thoughts and inputs or suggestions about Startup Lanes?
No, in fact, like you've been doing an excellent job. Like, in fact, if I have to, give an analogy, more like a marketplace where like you're connecting the founders with the entrepreneurs
Yes.
and trying to like, bridge the gap or which is not existing currently. So you have been doing a great service over there. And I'll be more than happy like to mentor, young minds, which, as a matter of fact, I've been, that is one of my passion of mentoring young minds because they are the ones like who shape the tomorrow, who shape
Yes.
tomorrow. Like that's why like I'll be more than happy to mentor young minds to see like how exactly like they can bring a good change.
Yes, lovely, lovely. And tell me, Sunil, where can people find you? Where can they get connected, and feel this enthusiasm, energy, and wisdom? What is the best way for people who are
LinkedIn,
watching us?
LinkedIn. So they can reach out in LinkedIn and like my profile is already there in public domain and like they can reach out to
Yeah,
me
it'll
like
be in the description
then
box
like
as
I
well.
can. Absolutely. So that like, I'll be more than happy to, interact with them and probably from there take it forward one on one with them and like do what I can do the best.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much, Sunil. It was such a lovely, delightful, heartwarming conversation, and I'm sure I got to know the person behind the curtain as well. So did all of us who's watching us on this platform. So I will definitely stay connected for our mentorship program, or once we are ready with it. So until then, I'll take your leave. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching and spending your precious time taking some key takeaways from Sunil. Here's Geett Pandey, VP at StartupLanes, signing off. I'll be back again with another incredible personality on this platform. Until then, take care. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you, viewers, and thank you, Geet, and thanks, Startup Lanes. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for giving me the opportunity. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
So.